Greetings, fellow Gits. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Gitman speaking, and welcome to this Army Showcase video of my entire painted collection of Orc models. Now, a few quick disclaimers. As you are hearing in the background now, there's going to be a lot of noise going off that I can't do anything about, so you'll be hearing the vent and some other noises in the background. As well as that, I also can't do anything much about the poor lighting because I'm having to record this in the basement because the table upstairs is too small to hold all these models, and the island is currently a bit of a mess, so I couldn't record it on that either. But anyways, this is not everything in my collection. This is just everything that's painted. And I say that not everything that I have painted is here. The reason for that is because there we have two models that are painted that I didn't pull out. And that was mainly because they were for Blood Bowl, not 40k, and I was wanting to just show all my 40k stuff rather than anything else. And as well as that, we aren't going to delve into the paint scheme of most of this stuff because I've already made videos on like what my paint scheme is. And if you want to know what how I paint my orcs, then I suggest you go and check out one of my other videos. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description if I'm able to during the editing process. But anyways, let's crack on. So let's start over here, and we'll just make our way to the other side of the table. So, first up, we have our mob of Boyz. And, well, there's nothing else really to say much about Boyz other than they're just boys with shooters. Now, if you have watched some of my other videos, you will notice a few familiar boys in the mix, but we won't talk much more about them. Next to them, we've got some very rebellious grots, because I say rebellious. We've got Direct Gobbo leading the charge and inspiring them to rebel. And this one on the far left probably doesn't realize it, but he's in for a world of pain, but with the hungry squig on the Warboss right behind him. And talking of the Warboss, another quick side note, even though I have a Warboss here, I actually have several other Warbosses, and that's because how my WAAAGH works is that there's not one Warboss in charge, there's a huge collection of Warbosses in charge. So he's one of the many Warbosses who's in charge, along with his retinue of knobs. And his name is Gruck Big Boss, and yes, it's just like Gruck Face Ripper. And the reason he's named Gruck is because he was once one of the knobs in his WAAAGH. But after old Gruck's mob kind of fell apart and was scattered, he took up the name of Gruck because he quite liked it. And if you'll notice, his claw is actually very red, and that is because I painted it up as To Kill a Claw. And I also have another story on how he got that. I like to say that he went to Orkimedes, the orc mech who was responsible for creating the Kill a Claw. And, well, that's the only thing that orcs really do agree on, because a lot of them tend to argue that he just beat the hell out of Orkimedes and just took the Kill a Claw. But a lot of others argue that he simply came to Orkimedes in as peaceful as a manner that a Warboss could ever come to anybody, and asked him to make a Kill a Claw for him. And a lot of orcs seem to believe that story more, because they do notice that there's more than one Kill a Claw moving around there in the universe. I can't speak. Wonderful time to record when I can't speak. Behind him, have my first unit of 10 knobs, along with their 2 ammo run assistants. Now, their paint scheme is a little bit different because some of them I painted like about a year ago, and some others I painted when I actually first got into the hobby, which was about 2 years ago. And so some of them probably are a little bit more gritty than others, while some are a bit more like more well pronounced than others. I don't know the term. Next to them, we have the knob with the WAAAGH banner. He's just a knob with the WAAAGH banner. Yeah, well, what else to say other than just he's a knob with the WAAAGH banner. The one of the many things that I'm actually very happy with this model is the bloody fist that kind of makes it look like blood is actually dripping down onto his base. That, and also I like the look of the faceplate on the banner. It looks very nice. Yeah, I'm very happy with him. I get a lot of people don't like the model, but I'm very happy with him. And behind them, well, there's a little mix of stuff. We have my 2 war bikers. I do have a third, but it's not painted yet. And hopefully I'll get around to doing that soon. And they aren't painted up as my usual blue and orange, which is a color scheme that most of these orcs will share. And that, well, actually, I say most, I mean like all of them, except for maybe the red gobbo, because, well, he just needs to be red. Oh, and also, back to the red gobbo, I did not actually paint this. This is a Christmas present from my brother. And I'm sorry, there's someone walking up the stairs in the background. But, so yeah, that was a Christmas present from my brother. And I should have probably mentioned this sooner, but not all of what you're seeing here is actually painted by me. There are some models here that aren't actually painted by me. Again, same like the red gobbo is not painted by me, and the main thing that's not actually painted by me is that tank right over there, which we'll get to very soon. So back to the war bikers. I was a bit off topic, but they are painted in red and blue instead of orange and blue, and that's because every orc knows that you got to paint vehicles that are designed to go fast red to make them go faster. And, you know, maybe sprinkle a little bit of blue in there to give you some extra luck to make sure you don't crash. Whatever floats your boat. And I am actually very happy with those. They were a pain to paint, though, because I had to use an airbrush in order to actually get as far as I was. And next to them, we have, as I like to call them, the Ard Boys, because they are some Blood Bowl orcs that decided to leave the Blood Bowl pitch and take to the fields of the 41st millennium. So these are my biggest conversion as of right now. Because like most of what you're seeing is just bog standard, because I'm not that big of a converter. But again, I'm not really going to talk much about the paint scheme. I should probably make a video for these guys, but I don't know if I will or not. Yeah, the main arms that I used were from the Boyz and the knobs to give them their weapons. And they are supposed to be storming out of the tank that I had mentioned earlier. Now, again, I did not convert that, nor did I paint it. That was actually a gift from my dad that he bought off some web store. I can't remember what it is. But talking about gifts from your parents, we have the head honcho, at least when Gaz is not around. But we have Warboss Mogork Ironbrawler, who is the quote-unquote leader of the WAAAGH. But really, he's just like it's sort of just like having a president or prime minister of some kind of thing, if you want to call it that. So like the other war bosses, they will have a say in the matter. It's just like when it comes to making a decision and it's like at a standstill, he will make the final decision. And he's also only actually in charge when Gaz is not around. But yeah, I'll probably delve more into his story in another time because it's actually far more fleshed out than old Gruck's over there. And then, no, I don't mean Gruck Facerip, I mean my Gruck. Before any of you fire away in the comments and say, what are you talking about? We should probably move closer now. And behind him, we have one of 2 Killicans. And well, those I painted quite a while ago. I can't remember when. And they were actually responsible for, like, after I painted them, when I didn't actually want to paint anymore, because it was an absolute nightmare to paint them. But we won't talk much about them, because we got to move to the biggest and meanest stomping machine in this horde. The, as I like to call it, the Lead Belcher, which you can tell by the free-handed writing on his stomach. And that was a Christmas present that I got, and I painted up as soon as I got back home from Christmas, and I'm very happy with it. I really love the hazard stripes that I did, and I love the checkered pattern, which you probably won't be able to tell immediately, but that checkered pattern does appear quite often on this model, such as with this set of rockets right here, and the 2 knee pad guards. I almost called them shoulder pads. It's kind of difficult to see it, though. I'd say, like, maybe the one thing that I don't like about it was that it kind of took me a little while to paint. But, yes, moving on now. Where we come to, well, as I like to say, my least favorite section, because it holds 2 of the least favorite things that I like to paint. And that would be humble Ludas and a mech shop. Although that's basically it. And the reason I say I didn't like painting my Ludas is because it just took me so long and they were a pain to really paint. I don't know what else to say other than that. The same thing can go for this mech shop, which was one of the models that I finished very recently. I absolutely abhorred painting this thing because there was just so much unnecessary detailing on it. I was like, what's the point? Why can't this just be more simple than it already is? I wasn't very chuffed about it. But talking of recently finishing, we have a squad of 4 Burna Boys. And this one right here, no, not the mech. This one right here, was the last model that I had finished. I finished him yesterday. And tagging along with them is a regular mech boy. He is just a regular mech boy. He's not a spanner like the one accompanying the Ludas. That's mainly because when I did build these Burnas, I only had 2 spanners at the time. So I had to chuck in a 3rd one because I have an additional 4 Ludas who are using up the other spanner. But yeah, moving on. Next, we come to the small group of Storm Boys. And yeah, well, they're just Storm Boys. I don't know what else to say other than that. They're just Storm Boys. Yeah, so quickly moving on, where we come to their boss, Mr. Boss Zagstruck, and I'm actually also very happy with this model because it's it's one of the first times that I actually had to paint a model that wasn't in my paint scheme. And I'm actually very happy with it. I think it's some of the best checker work I've ever done is on his shoulder pad. And yeah, I really like the way he looks. And next up, we come to the measly... Actually, wait, hold on. We skipped something. We skipped over the good old Big Mech right here, along with his two little grot companions, grot oilers. This is the owner of the mech shop. This is good old mech boss Zapdaka Gobwrench. And I really just made that name up for him because I thought it just fit his character, because he's got a custom Mega Blaster and a giant wrench. Didn't really think too much about it after that. I'll probably have to come up with some kind of story for him, because all your characters deserve a story. Next, now we will come to the measly 2 Beast Negaboys that I have painted. And I actually only ever painted one of them. And you can probably tell because it's this one. This one right here. My hand's getting in the way of the camera. But this one was painted up by my brother because, well, he just wanted to paint something. But even though it's not in my usual blue and orange paint scheme, I actually quite like it. It's got a very nice type of skin recipe for it, and I think he did a very nice job on the scarring. Plus, the checkers, they also are far better than any checkers that I could come up with. So yeah, I'm very happy with this guy. And next up, we have the other 10 knobs, and well, same thing about them as with the other previous 10. Although, instead of being accompanied by a wall banner, they are being accompanied by a pain boy. And I actually quite enjoyed painting this. When I first started painting it, I was kind of worried that, oh, I'm not going to like this, because there's a lot of detailing on it. But I actually quite enjoyed a lot of that detailing. Hold on, I'm having some problems holding the camera. But I quite enjoy it because he's mostly skin in some areas, and I actually really like painting orc skin. And that, and also I really liked painting the orderly on his back, because I think the two different skin tones looks very nice on the same model. And it also gave me a chance to make some Mad Doc type look for an orc. Yeah, I really like it. And they are also accompanied by 2 ammo runts. They're both basically the same, unlike these 2 over here, with one of them having a banner stuck in his base, which I didn't mention until now. And leading these 10 knobs is another Warboss by the name of Moggark Ed Smasher. And I also already did a video on him, unlike with poor Gruck. It was really just because I was at the time not wanting to record a video about him. Well, if you want to know more about him, I suggest you go check out the video I did about him, which I will also, hopefully, if I remember, put in the link in the description. I probably didn't say that correctly, but I don't really care right now. Moving on. Now we got some more little grots here. And I also actually enjoyed painting these. Hold on. Is the camera gonna focus? Or is it even out of focus anyway? Hold on. There we go. We'll just have to hold one up to the camera, that's all. But yeah, I really liked painting these little guys because it was far easier than anything else in this army, because they're again mostly just skin, and I like painting skin. But it was also like just not very difficult to pick out what pieces of cloth would be colored or not. But instead of them being very rebellious, they are being bullied instead by their resident runt herder, who is not a very happy boy because, well, he's missing a finger, and also he's getting tired of all the grots trying to steal stuff. The thing I like the most about him is his squig, and well, yeah, I just really like the squig. Yeah, so quickly moving on, we come to the last horde of boys. Well, yeah, they're just boys. Much like the first group, I don't know what else to say other than they're just boys. So, yeah, I actually really like them. Although, a quick comparison, this one right here, so hold them up so we can get better lighting. This was my very first painted model. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a name for him because, well, at the time I wasn't really thinking about giving any of my chaff names. And I probably still won't give any of them names. But, yeah, so when you compare him to the Burna that I recently painted, I was able to go from this to this in a span of 2 years. I probably could still do some more improving, but I'm honestly just a lazy git, to be brutally honest, and I'm not looking for display quality. I'm just looking for battlefield quality. But yeah, I quite liked how he turned out. It's not too bad. And last, but by absolutely no means least, we've got good old Gaz, the real head honcho of the show. At least when he's not busy doing his own thing. And now this is now I did paint this one, but I didn't paint all of it. As a matter of fact, his face was actually painted by my brother. Same with a lot of the checks and the teeth on his iron gob, as well, and the skull as well. But the arms, like the Shuda arm and the claw arm, I painted all of that. And, you probably can't really tell very easily, but underneath his claw is a pattern of checkers, which I actually enjoyed painting for once. It's enjoying painting is a very rare occasion for me. I'm more of a player type guy, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that I was able to get the beast finished, and I'm very happy with him, and I can't wait to use him on the table. And that, well, that's it. That is everything that I have painted. Now, as I said, this is not everything. This is probably slightly over half. Actually, no, not slightly. This is very much over half. I was just like saying slightly because most of the stuff that I don't have painted are the big vehicles, except for the Gorkanaut and the two cans. Man, well, I have a lot of the Beast Naga stuff that I've yet to paint, and I also have more Ludas and more Storm Boys to paint, and a few more named characters as well. But yeah, tell me what you think about my collection, and give me a reason as to why you think I should probably get more, or maybe if you think it's crap or not. I don't really care. Any judgment is welcome. Just so long as it's given positively, of course. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video and give it a share if you want. No pressure intended. And why not hit the subscribe button? It helps the channel out a lot. And yeah, so I'll see you gits later.